He seemed perfect until he asked for money. He had kind eyes. The kind that made you forget how long it's been since someone really looked at you. He opened doors. He remembered my coffee order. He even said all the right things I hadn't heard in years. And for a while, I really believed maybe this time I got lucky. Maybe this was real. But then it happened. That one moment, the one sentence that shattered everything. Could you help me out just this once? And suddenly I wasn't in love. I was being tested. The setup. You know how it goes. You hit a certain age, and people stop asking if you're seeing anyone. They assume you've either given up or you're fine being alone. But here's what no one tells you. The ache doesn't go away. The longing, the want, not for fireworks or movie scenes, just for someone to share your morning coffee with, someone to ask how your day was, someone to laugh at the same old stories you've told a dozen times. That's all I wanted. Nothing fancy, just connection. So when he walked into my life, he didn't have to do much to catch my attention. He was kind, polite, said ma'am in a way that didn't sound condescending. He had a warm voice and a steady gaze. He didn't rush, didn't flirt too hard. He just made me feel noticed. We met through a friend at church. He said he was a widower. His wife had passed away a few years ago, cancer. I nodded slowly. That kind of grief? I understood. We talked about how strange the silence gets, how heavy the evenings feel, how family means well, but they just don't get it. He laughed at my stories, told a few of his own. It was easy. Too easy, maybe. Still, I didn't think much of it. I told myself, don't overthink, just enjoy it. And I did. We went on a few walks. He'd bring me tea, held my elbow when the sidewalk got uneven. Little things, but you know how much little things matter at our age. Then he said it. I haven't felt this close to someone since my wife. And I melted a little, because it had been so long since anyone made me feel special. Like I wasn't just another older woman fading into the background. But here's what I didn't realize. While I was falling for the moments, he might have been planning something else. Because love, real love, isn't just soft words and warm hands. It's consistency, transparency, and most of all, it's patience. But in hindsight, he seemed to move just a bit too fast. He'd always talk about the future, trips, dinners, weekends away, but never specifics. He was in a rush to build something, but not enough of a rush to show me who he really was. The ask, it didn't happen all at once. That's the thing people don't understand. It's not like someone just shows up and says, hey, can I have a few $100s? No, it's slower than that, smoother, almost tender. It starts with small moments, things that seem like nothing, but when you look back, you see the pattern. He forgot his wallet on our third lunch together. No big deal. We all forget things. I even joked, at least you remembered your pants. We laughed. I paid. He said, I'll get you next time. Then, a week later, he was late to meet me for a walk. Showed up breathless, flustered, said something about his bank card being locked, that his son had changed some accounts, that he hated even bringing it up. But would I mind spotting him again? My stomach, it twitched, just a little. But I pushed it away. This man had lost a wife. He was older. Maybe money just got tangled sometimes. I told myself I was being cynical. And then he brought me flowers. He wrote a card that said, you make this season of life feel alive again. And I melted. I didn't just forgive the ask. I forgot it. That's how it works. You want so badly to believe it's real that you excuse what you would have warned your own daughter about. Then came the moment I'll never forget. We were on the phone. He sounded different, distant, but emotional. He said his grandson had been in an accident, that there were medical bills, that the family was struggling. He said he wasn't calling to ask me for anything. He just needed someone to talk to. I sat there, heart aching, wanting to help, wanting to be that person for him. And right when I was about to say, I'm so sorry, he said it, almost whispered. I hate to even ask, but could you help me out just this once? And my heart? It didn't flutter. It sank, because suddenly, everything kind and thoughtful he'd ever done felt like a setup. I didn't say yes, but I didn't say no right away either. I just said, let me think about it. We hung up, and that silence, it felt heavier than any loneliness I'd known before, because it wasn't just about the money, it was about trust, and how quickly it can disappear when someone turns love into leverage. The realization, that night after the call I couldn't sleep, not because of the question he asked, but because of the question I had to ask myself. How did I not see this coming? I sat in my kitchen, tea in hand, staring at nothing in particular, just letting the weight of everything settle. Was it all fake? The laughter, the walks, the long talks about grief and starting over. Was I just another mark? A number in his plan? That thought, it broke my heart more than his request ever could. But here's the thing. The more I replayed it in my mind, the clearer it became. There were signs. I just didn't want to see them. Like how he never talked about close friends. How he always mentioned financial bad luck. How his stories changed just slightly from one week to the next. It wasn't obvious, but it wasn't invisible either. I wanted so badly to believe that love could still find me, that someone could still see me, really see me, and not want something in return. But now I was left wondering, had I been foolish? Had I mistaken attention for affection? Had I confused charm with character? And then came the worst part, shame. Not at him, at myself, because I should have known better. I've raised kids, paid bills, buried loved ones, survived heartbreaks I thought would destroy me. But somehow, even after all that, a warm smile and a kind voice still had the power to shake my sense of judgment. I sat there trying to remember the last time I trusted my gut. The last time I said something feels off, and actually listened. Too long. I realized then that loneliness had made me soft. Not in the bad way. Not weak. Just open. And there's danger in that. Because when you're wide open, the wrong people can walk right in. But I didn't cry that night. I didn't call and scream. Didn't send angry texts. I just made a choice. I chose to protect my peace. To listen to the voice inside me. The one I had ignored too many times before. And for the first time in a long time, I felt powerful. Not because I caught him, but because I finally caught myself right before I gave away something I couldn't afford to lose again. My trust. The lesson. So here's what I learned. Not just from him, but from myself. People will test your heart in the kindest tones. They'll say the right things, send the good morning texts, offer gentle touches, even tears, but that doesn't make it love. And attention? That's not always affection. It took me a long time to see the difference. See, when we're over 60, people think we should just be grateful for any kind of attention. Like we should lower the bar, accept the scraps, be thankful someone's still interested at all. Well, I don't buy that. Not anymore. I've earned more than that. We all have. We've been through decades of life. We know what sacrifice looks like. We know what betrayal feels like. We know what silence does to a person's soul. And most importantly, we know peace. And when you know peace, you recognize chaos faster. That's the lesson. It's not about becoming cynical. It's about becoming wise. So here's what I tell myself now. When someone new comes into your life, don't just listen to what they say. Watch what they do. If their words don't match their actions, believe the actions. If they rush things, ask why. If they make you feel guilty for asking questions, run. Love doesn't need to be bought. It doesn't require favors or financial help or second chances for strangers. It shows up. It earns trust. And it takes time. These days, I'm not afraid of being alone. I'm afraid of being with someone who makes me feel lonelier than when I was by myself. So now, I ask the uncomfortable questions early. I take things slower than ever, and I trust that little feeling in my stomach when something doesn't sit right. Because here's the truth. I'd rather spend my days in quiet peace than noisy confusion. And if someone's not okay with that, then they're not for me. Let that be your test too. You don't have to build walls, but you do need gates and guards, because your heart, even after all this time, is still worth protecting. If you're still listening, that means you've either been through this or you felt that same tightness in your chest when something just didn't feel right. And if that's you, you are not alone. So many of us, older, wiser, and still somehow learning. We've been there. The good news? You don't have to stay silent about it. You don't have to feel ashamed. And you definitely don't have to walk through it alone. If this story made you think, if it reminded you of something you felt or feared, hit that subscribe button, because we're building a space where these stories can live openly, honestly, without judgment. Let's keep talking. Let's keep growing. And above all, let's never forget what we've earned. Peace, wisdom, and the right to say no without guilt.